Yeah, I went to this really cool parking thing where I parked perfectly, but it seems like a weird thing. I do have all my weapons in case you're wondering. And this last fight was really actually kind of hard. There were a few moments in it where, or a few sections where it seemed really, really hard to do. I think I die a few times because Vito is made out of paper. And cutscene.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Vito. The boss wants to see you.
Good. I want to see him, too.
One thing, though, Vito. I gotta take your gun.
Yeah, all right. Here you go.
Damn. Just murdered them straight up. And I think that alerts a bunch of the other guards. Yep, yes it does. So this section was weird. There are a bunch of guys with a bunch of Tommy guns, and they can kill you in seconds. Because, as I said, Vito is made out of paper. There are quite a few sections in this area where you feel like you're doing good, but then you just sort of get torn apart by like one, maybe two guys. And if you don't really take care of the right people, you just sort of die. Because Vito feels very, very squishy throughout most of the game. Like right there, I went from like half health to just dead in like a matter of seconds. Like, there's not really much I can do about it. There's not really much where it's like if I'm getting shot by Thompson, if I don't get back into cover right away, I pretty much just die. So I'm trying to take this as easy as I can. I'm trying to get as much health I have. And I think I got him. Looks like it. Yeah, but Vito was just like squishier than all hell. Like, he was made out of paper. He's just a giant origami statue just firing weapons. Mafia 3 origami. Origami with Vito. They are actually making a Mafia 3. I don't know if I'm going to be playing it. I mean, it looks really good. I think it's set in New Orleans, and I think it's set like it has nothing to do with this game. I think it's set near the Vietnam War. This guy won't die. He's just we're just mowing people down. Like they just line up and we just mow them down. Like damn. Okay, got him. And I think I go back and look for magazines, which I think there are one, maybe two in this area. There's a magazine, I think, in like every level. I did not find them all. I barely found half of them. I think I found 21 in total. So I think there might be one, maybe two left over. I think I've only edited up to about 18. There was one part 34, something? I don't know. There are quite a few. Those are grenades. Okay, I was like, is that a magazine or is that just something I need? Speaking of grenades, I'm going to call bullshit on that one because as soon as I got into cover, they threw it. So I decided to hide and wait, have the people come over to me. I reloaded at the wrong time. Total wrong time. I was like, oh, I can just sit here, reload. Nope. I think there's a guy behind the cover. Because you have guns and you're trying to kill me. That's why. What are you, fucking stupid? Why are you hiding? Because I'm going to kill you. So that's why I'm hiding. That's the door we had to go through. That door leads to some very unhappy times. This next room took me forever to do. I don't know why. I would blame Vito being paper again, but this room was stupid. So we're now in the planetarium, and we have to climb down the stairs, and there's like a bunch of dudes in here. There's one guy who climbs up the stairs. And then there's no real place for us to hide in here, besides behind the cover. And there's like 4 or 5 dudes, and I'm trying not to die, but I do die quite a few times in here. This one was probably the longest room that, like, out of the entire game, this was one of the hardest rooms. Probably because I'm fighting the entire Falcone family. Which I find ironic because, we feel like no remorse killing any of these dudes. Like, yeah, you're in my family, but, fuck all of you? But they spawn a bunch of dudes that come in really fast. And I'm pretty sure the guy, there was a guy to my right who just shot me. So, yeah, but this room took me forever to do because they keep spawning in people. And it's like, if I move up 5 feet, they spawn more people. If I die there. It's just not fun. It's not fun at all. A lot of people come try and kill me. And I'm getting stuck behind plants. It's really weird because this game has this weird issue. I wouldn't call it an issue, but this weird thing wherever you like, where you walk up to a certain point in the game, you hit it like a checkpoint where more people will spawn, but they won't like show up on your map straight away. So you're sort of stuck in this weird like little limbo sort of thing where you're like, okay, I got up to X checkpoint. There shouldn't be anyone spawning. And then, for some random reason, 20 bajillion guys come out of nowhere, and they're like, haha, fuck you, Vito. Hopefully I shut that off here. But there are like 12 guys here that just sort of spawn out of nowhere. Could you please lift your head up, mister? You're not the same person. Sir. Thank you. Okay, and the last guy, there he is. There we go. Some pinpoint action right there. And I'm actually looking for magazines right here because I have nothing else better to do. See, once you walk into, get up to here, more guys will spawn and they'll start running into the room. And I think if you go even farther, right here, more guys will spawn. But it's like whenever you get to a glass shelf, there's more people that spawn, which seems weird. Wow, my reaction time was slow on that one. The guy gets up and I'm like, let's shoot this guy. Oh wait, he's standing. There we go. Yeah, feeling, I don't know. This game has some weird issues with spawning. Like right here, I walked in this room and like 12 guys just spawn out of nowhere. I mean, I did see them on the map just before they ran in here, but these are the last few guys. And dead. Dead? Not dead. Impressive, my friend. Okay, now he is. And since I had nothing better to do, I just look around for some magazines and some prize. And I feel like I find one in here. For some odd reason. I was like, why would the museum have a magazine? Do I find one? I guess not. But here is the last little fight that we ever have to do in this entire game.
Wow.
This one takes a while for me to do as well.
This is where they send? This is an insult. What'd they tell you, Vito? Take care of me and all's forgiven?
Pretty much, yeah.
You really think they're just gonna let you walk after everything you did?
Hopefully.
Then again, chumps like you never do think about the big picture. But your buddy Joe understands. Don't you, Joe?
Oh, shit.
What the fuck is this? I could ask you the same question.
Loyalty's a funny thing, huh, Vito? No such thing as friendship in this business. Didn't your old pal Leo teach you that while you're sucking his cock back in the can? You're just a fucking pawn, Vito. That's all you ever were. When are you gonna realize
Joe,
that?
you just gotta trust me.
You think I give a shit about the feds? All those tired old fucks on the commission? They're using you, Vito. Just like Clemente used you. Just like I used you. Just like that rat fuck Henry used you. You vouched for that piece of shit. Brought him into my house. And now, you dumb fuck, you're gonna pay for it. Now, Joe,
Hey, if you're gonna pull that trigger, do it already.
What are you waiting for?
Vito. Let's shoot this cocksucker.
Remember what we talked
On
about,
three.
Joe? You're gonna throw all that away? Do it!
2.
Now!
Yeah. What I like is that Joe has a white suit on. I didn't realize that. Like I didn't expect that to happen. So when I come in with a black suit and he's the white suit with it was perfect, color coded. We like totally teamed up on this one, but this fight takes a while because like right there they spawn a bunch of guys and randomly, and they sort of like have a bad back spawning problem sometimes. Like you really don't expect where they just spawn. They just sort of just like, hey, look, I'm here. So this is probably take like 1, 2, or I don't know, 1 more time, 2 more times. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, this game suffers from a lot of back spawning, or not just back spawning, but like random enemy spawning that doesn't really make much sense. They just sort of appear out of nowhere. And it's hard to deal with sometimes. Because it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure I can walk over this way. Oh no, wait, there's 12 guys who just spawned. Did I do it? No, there's still one more guy. And then 3 more spawn up. I think in each direction, each little walkway right there, or entrances.
You really are insane, aren't you?
And then more people spawn, which I don't know. It seems like there's a spawning issue in this game. I don't know really what to say about it. I don't know if it's just me complaining that enemies spawn in this game. I have to fight people? Oh, come on. Like, Joe's just getting torn up right there.
They teach you that in the army?
And then, like, 2 guys randomly walk up, like, where the fuck have you guys been? Why are you taking this thing? And then more guys keep spawning. Like, it's like a swarm that just never ends. I don't think I got him. No, I did not. Wow, this guy. I think that's I think that was Carlos, actually.
You know something, Carlo? For the last 10 years, all I done was kill. I killed for my country. I killed for my family. I killed anybody that got in my way. But this one's for me. Fuck you. Fucking prick.
Badass Vito. Family album.
I sure as hell hope you know what you're doing here.
Don't worry, I took care of it. You'll see.
We didn't take care of anything.
What was he talking about back there?
Nothing. He made me an offer, that's all.
Yeah, I figured out that much. What kind of offer?
He wanted me to whack you. Said he'd make me a capo. Give me my own crew. You know, pretty much everything I ever wanted.
Yeah? So why the hell didn't you do it?
Remember that $5 you owe me?
So the only reason why we survived is that we owe Joe money. Thank God. And now for the end.
What the hell is this?
It's all right, Joe.
Is it done?
It's done.
All right, then. Looks like a celebration is in order. Come on. Let's head to the cat house.
Sounds good to me.
Come with me, Vito. There's more we need to talk about.
And we're getting separated
All right,
between
we'll see
cars.
you over there.
This doesn't seem good.
All right. So what's the big secret? Hey, what the hell's going on? Where they taking Joe?
Sorry, kid. Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Oh, shit. That's right, they just fucking took Joe. And that's how they end the goddamn game. When I was first playing this, I freaked the fuck out. I was like, what? What do you mean? You can't just do that? What? So there are either 2 outcomes for Joe, really. They shoot Joe and kill him right then and there, or they run him out of the city. Either way, you don't see him again, and that is how they end the fucking game. It was like, what are you doing? Like, I was so pissed. I was like, I was starting to respect Joe. Like, come on. But yeah, that is the end of the game. Regardless of how it ended, overall it was a pretty decent game. I feel like it was a little too short. I wish there was a few more chapters to flesh things out. Flesh all the little minor characters that they kept bringing back. Like Gestapo, not Gestapo. No, that's not the right person. Gestapo, or the lockpick guy. They introduced a few other characters like the car dude, Bruno. They introduced everyone. Like, it felt like they were sort of throwing in a bunch of major characters that revealed backstory for our father, like right at the end of the game. Which, you know, it was like, I guess, to wrap up the game, but at the same time it felt kind of forced, and I was like, okay, well, that's a bunch of names that I'm probably never going to remember because I won't ever see them again. So I wish there was kind of fleshed out a little more. A few more chapters would have been nice. I wish there was more of a hint towards Henry being a rat. I felt like they sort of just threw that at us. There was like, fucking deal with it. I mean, it makes sense in the end of the plot. But I felt like they didn't really like show us many hints for him being a rat. Like, he never really canceled any plans. In fact, he was the one who wanted to start dealing drugs. I would say he's at fault here. But yeah, so besides that, I think the game overall was pretty good. The story was very, very good. The graphics were pretty decent, actually. They were really good. Driving was okay. I'm not a very good driver in general, but I felt like some of the cars had some bad handling. I guess I should have like invested some money into improving said handling at the car shop. I guess the biggest fault at this I have at this game is that there wasn't much to do. You know, it's like an open world with not a lot to do. It's sort of the opposite of what Godfather 2 had. Godfather 2 had very little plot, but it had a bunch of activities that you could have done outside of the game, which, you know, like taking houses, doing assassination hits on other family members, that sort of thing. This game, it sort of has the opposite, where it's like got a really detailed plot, but at the same time, it had not a lot to offer, like, outside of that. I mean, you could steal cars, you could rob stores for money, but you didn't really have much to spend said money on. So it was sort of like this awkward, like, oh, well, this is open world, but there's not much in the world for you to do besides the story. The story was pretty good, but I felt like there should have been more to it, like more out in the outside world. That's not to say that the entire game is bad. Like, don't. It's not what I'm saying at all. It's just like I would have liked to done more outside of the main plot line. Yeah, pretty good. The characters were nice. I felt like they did throw a few too many characters near the end, or at least they didn't flesh out a lot of characters. They fleshed out Joe and Vito the most because they are the protagonists, but they don't actually do much with anyone else. Because we work for all three different families by the end of the game, so we never really had much contact with. We didn't really, like, you know, do much for each family. Did like several missions, then moved on. We worked with Clemente at the beginning of the game, and then we got to prison. Then we stopped working for Clemente, and then after prison we went to Falcone, did a few missions for him, and then by the end of the game we sort of did our own thing with the drugs. That turned to shit, and then we worked for Vinci's family to handle all the shit. And then they left it on the cliffhanger with Joe being taken somewhere else, and we'll never actually know what happens with Joe. None of the DLCs has any backstory behind that. Speaking of the DLCs, I don't know if I will do any of them. From what I've heard, they aren't the best. If anything, I might do Joe's adventure sometime in the future. But that is actually in between. It's not after the game. It's in between when Vito goes to prison. You sort of learn why Joe transfers over to Falcone's family. I think that's the plot line behind that. But besides that, there's not really much else. I think I've just wrapped up Mafia II in general. The other one I think is you play as a hitman or something along those lines. But I heard that it was not so good, which is kind of bad. Not bad, like in the sense that it's like, oh my god, it's awful. But at the same time, it's like, oh well, I would have liked to have good DLC for this. If I could ever find Mafia 2. So the DLC for this, give me a second, I'll figure out the guy's name. There was a few DLCs, Joe's Adventures, Jimmy's Vendetta, Jimmy, that's his name. But yeah, besides that, there's not really much else to do with this game. So yeah, overall it was pretty decent. I felt like I kept forgetting a lot of people's names because I sort of just threw it in like a new character every chapter or so, and we just sort of had to remember everyone's name, and then they brought certain like odd characters back. Like out of everyone we talked to, why would the lockpick guy who we met once in chapter 2, 3, why would he know where Joe goes? Stuff like that. So yeah, overall the shooting was pretty decent. I did enjoy the shooting, although I felt like Vito was kind of squishy in most cases, where like if you instantly died, or if you walked out of cover, you like instantly died. On the flip side of that, most of the weapons you did a lot of damage, like the Thompsons. Both of them did an extreme amount of damage really, really fast, and that way you felt like you were mowing down enemies, but at the same time you felt like you were getting mowed down if you messed up, which makes sense, I guess, in some way. It just made the gameplay kind of challenging, which is nice. But yeah, overall, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough, the playthrough of this. Like, you know, the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, that sort of thing. And I hope you guys have a good time. Good day, good night, evening, whenever you're watching this, you time wizards. And I will see you guys next time.